Tick-tock goes the clock. Tick-tock, tickety-tock. What does this guy have in stock? Do his words stand firm like rocks? Good thing people watch like hawks. He only has himself to mock. His words are not behind a lock. Well, that was fun. I intentionally have not spoken on this thing, because I had a pretty good reason not to. David Pack really likes to hear himself talk. So much so that he has a 500-part prophecy series, each of which is at least 1 hour long. Talk about something to play when you have a hard time going to sleep. Back in February, he told members of the RCG to sell everything that they have and give it to him. He picked the very first night of the Hebrew calendar, the evening of April 8th. But recently he started to backtrack, implying that they would be around for at least another year. Let's start a countdown the next time. I know it's been a tough couple years for you. It's truly been a tough couple years for everybody. Your bleeding membership. Your iron rod is cracking. It must be so difficult. The RCG is headquartered just west of Akron, Ohio, which is conveniently within the path of 100% totality on April 8th. Today also just so happens to be the evening that the Hebrew calendar begins. I mean, God made the lights in the heavens to be for days, for seasons, for years, and for signs. I see where you got your ideas, buddy. He'd essentially declared this night to be a night to be much observed. That's an inside joke for anyone who understands. But now his date is pushed a little bit. His name is David Pack. He says it comes from this French word, Pâques, meaning Passover. And he just said, my name is David Passover, not David Aviv. But he said Abib. So, I have a friend, this friend, who has been posting some really amazing material about what you yourself say with your own two lips. And with this recent, almost failed prophecy, I had an idea. They sent me a whole bunch of videos to blind react to, and I can't wait. I'll be doing one a day until we get to his next prophecy. I actually have viewed pretty much every single bit of material from this channel. However, it's going to be similar to a blind reaction because there's just so much material.
God's people around the world, I'm telling you, if you're sitting on funds, don't.
Does he have
You're
funds?
going to lose it soon after anyway.
Does he have money?
So why not gain eternal life with it?
I'm sure you lead by example. He literally told all members to sell everything they had for tonight. Tick-tock goes the clock. Sundown is just a few hours away. Did you sell everything you have too, Pack? Because I would be very interested to know.
I went over and talked to them and found out they were going to go out and do sightseeing on the last great day. Now,
How
had been a minister,
dare
I
they?
said to them,
On a holiday?
might have been, you are disfellowshipped
Go
immediately.
sightsee
You
and
can do
appreciate
anything you want.
God's
You're out of the
creation
church
on
and
a
you will
holiday?
Not ever be back. That's willful disobedience against God's law. You're gone now.
How dare they?
Now, I told you I'm going to be strong.
Oh, I feel it.
All 8 days is the truest test. I've watched thousands and thousands of people blow off the opening night. I don't feel like it. But you're to follow the traditions of God.
Personal
Now,
conviction.
for the decades. You're done. You leave the feast, you're done. You may not even get home.
Well, that was a lot. The soundtrack here
If you
is
don't
amazing.
sell all, and you're part of the little flock, you should fear. Fear not is not for you. It's for the people that are doing it. You're not getting the kingdom. You're going to enter at best raging hell and face death.
Oh, is it going to be like a rave? Like a rave party?
Required. You have no chance, not only for salvation, but to avoid the Great Tribulation. You won't be
what's the
pampered
Great
anywhere in the prison you go to where you'll be tortured and killed. Wow. That's
Oh, is he talking like one of those BDSM parties?
Then you should ask yourself, what did my funds and savings do for me now that I'm here?
Probably got
and
me
I'm
a
being
ticket
beaten to death
in the BDSM
before
thing.
I actually am put to death.
Safe word? Talk about a beacon of hope.
second before days ago that was anybody but Christ. I never, ever for 1 minute of my life, and God hears me in heaven,
What?
ever saw myself as that person.
Huh?
That was Christ. So a loving God never let me see it and then says after it's over, because of a couple things I want to mention, that was you. I knew I was the poker. I knew I poked up a fire, so guess what fire I was plucked out of? The one I poked up, because I'm called a refiner's fire and fuller's soap, and there's some people didn't cut it.
What?
All these bigger groups don't have what we have.
We even have the bouquet!
wouldn't
Way
obey
down
God.
there!
Faithfully tithe. They tithe most of them on the gross, not on the net. I mean on the net, not the gross. And they won't give common. And their holy day offerings are
When
paltry.
every
So giant groups,
single
like dwarfs,
tenth
dwarves beside us.
of a cent.
Strangest thing. And yet, God's house, he considers his house to be, we are the house of God.
Hey David, I really appreciate the effort, but you're not fooling anybody. I don't know if Jesus had anything to say about the temple and money. I don't know if he said anything about people shaking others down for money. I don't know if he said anything about leaders parading around the concept of how much they contribute. Because, the people who paraded around were just so godly.
See Taylor Swift? Daddy, get me an $11,000 ticket, and I've got to have the thermos, and I've got to have the T-shirt and the hoodie, and just pick up the parking or drop me off, and you walk a mile twice. So what do you do with young people like that? A lot of them are going to get ripped.
Let me stop you right there, David. Because you just said we're gonna get ripped and I can't wait. How many days do we got now? April 22nd is on the horizon. And I'm gonna get ripped. I can't wait. I hope it actually happens.
Wicked people who attend with us.
Ooh, like Hocus Pocus?
And they'll send this note out, and as I like to say, they're dead people walking.
Santa's note?
Because God isn't going to hold people back for 4 years and put them to death. They're going to die quickly.
At least
I can
he
name some
made
names.
sure to check it twice.
So I
Check it
realize
twice.
this message is going to get out.
Oh, it
It's
is
probably
gonna
cause
get
some
out.
trouble. I can tell you that Amos 3:7 has been fulfilled. God won't do anything, but he tells us
No,
to
he's
release the
lazy
prophet.
and just
If
eats
that
grapes
becomes
all
a
day.
prophet, well, then so be it.
Amos 3:7? So he does absolutely nothing. Hyperbole doesn't exist in the Bible? As far as from the east is from the west, I'll remember your sins no more. I don't think he, actually forgets. He wouldn't be omniscient, would he? You don't have to measure anything, David. It's fine. I was just using hyperbole. Although the gap in your logic spans the heavens far and wide. But I guess it's good for your self-esteem.
Jews keep the oracles in the calendar, and they say next year in Jerusalem. They do say that. That's what they say. They know when years start, Abib 1. But they also set a place for Elijah at the Passover. Next year in Jerusalem, they know when years start. That's Abib 1, but they're looking for Elijah at the Passover too. They almost seem to know there's 2 dates going on here. My name is not David Abib 1, it's David Passover, which is kind of interesting. I've thought about that many, many times. You've heard me cite it. Remember I told you my wife said she was more righteous than I was, because more like God, because she could hide in the crowd, and I told her I was more like God because I was big like God.
Wait, what? Come on, Pac, let's be realistic.
How come
Sorry, guys.
China
This one ain't a joke.
worships all through their history? The
I
dragon is a
cannot believe
mythical
he says
creature
this.
to them. Long been the most important symbol of power in China. China is, in many ways, is a horrifically evil people. Gog, it really comes from China, and others are allied with him. Why? It may be that in the Gentile world, they're the biggest and most powerful nation, and they're all about the dragon because that's exactly where they get their instruction, if you think about it.
This type of talk extremely disturbs me. I speak Mandarin too, so I almost did a joke where I whispered in his ear, but I'm like, I just can't. David Pack is a very dangerous man. And it is particularly because of things like that that I made this channel. So where does Pack get his instruction?
We just would have to ask, why would God retain this being, this evil being, to be in our presence for all eternity? Why would he do that? There has to be a reason. There'd have to be a purpose. What would it be? I can't think of anything.
Why would God allow this evil being for people to suffer for so long without end? Why does God allow your prophecies to fail every single time? Why, God, why? Doesn't God know that you did all these things in his name? He's just like a shepherd leading his sheep into a volcano.
Not rushing. I don't think I've ever given 3 messages of over 5 hours started in less than 28 hours. So it looks like we know Nebuchadnezzar, Haggai, Zechariah, and... Oh, I almost said who the false prophet is. I don't want to do that yet.
Oh, you sly fox. Shh, you don't want to let it out. Was it you?
Whole thing, the fact that I got a date or two right, wrong, or something, or some detail wrong, but saw a kingdom nobody else could see, and you leave the only church that says that, you're probably gone. There is a fire that devours before the Father got here.
David Pack, you were off by just a smidge. Oh, don't give yourself too much credit. So close. It was really very close. I honestly don't know how much closer you can get than that. That'll do. Is God even listening? Surely he read the dates too. Well, I guess Passover isn't over yet if you count the Feast of Unleavened Bread. So that makes what, about another week? Hey, maybe someone in the congregation has been holding out like Ananias and Sapphira. Maybe you should ask for even more money. Maybe God's waiting for you to pay off the rest of those big debts. You know, the campus being as beautiful as it is in spring. Spring in Passover, so poetic. It's like hyacinth bucket. Or should I say, bouquet. Can a prophet be wrong? I'm sure you've asked yourself that, right? Who knows, maybe those members who truly did sell all can finally get some access to that third tithe. Minute Tickle in person.